Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash. My name is Jacob from Plaintables Camp. Now, this is the apostles video reviewing GMS Watchmen. His video. Leave all the, it was a bunch of generals that he called a meeting for. And, you know, it's renamed the Department of War. It used to be the Department of Defense. It's the Department of War now. So we know that this renaming, this position or posturing is ultimately going to end up in a third world war. This nation is not going to last. All right. We're going to end up in a situation, the country, United States, Babylon, America, in which they're going to go over to the east, so-called Middle East, and they're going to fight a third world war. The second war was passed, or the first war was passed. Behold, there cometh another war. Another war cometh quickly. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. You can look that up. Whoa, whoa, whoa! In the Book of Revelation. I believe that's in another place. So, Peak Hegseth just announced they're preparing for a new era of war against all enemies. Against all enemies. So, what is that? That's going to be information, technology, building a dossier on their enemies, and then they're going to come get the enemies. And definitely the men that speak the truth are on that list. We are on a special list, for the proper time. That's why we haven't been arrested or even accused. There have been some, blips of that. But they tried to do it to our apostles and elders in 2001, September 11th. All right. Spent some time in a clank. But that wasn't the time. The next time that happens, we could very well be the next generation. Us, the YouTube era. We could be staying in those jails or camps for good until we deliver. We can only hope. Because our salvation, the benefits, the mental clarity, and the comfort and the conquering of our enemies is much better than this life. No matter how much, FRNs and plush apartments and family you got here that you think is good, the blessing of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is much better than anything we've experienced or want to experience here in this Babylon America. So let's listen in. Where are you at?
Good morning and welcome to the War Department.
For years, it's been the Department of Defense. The Constitution, Department of Defense. Defense meaning you don't start wars, you finish them. Someone starts a war against you, you have a right to self-defense. When you say War Department, that means you're looking to start wars. You're looking to take things over, which makes you the bad guys.
Because the era of the Department of Defense is over.
No more defense. This department is.
Oh, I didn't know he was going to say that. He said the Department of Defense is over. So they could be launching new wars over in the East. They could be launching new here against American citizens, against so-called illegal aliens. All right. He said there's no more. So this is all being purposefully done. So they appear stronger. And they're doing, before they announce this shit, better believe they're already doing it. They've been doing this for years. All right. Or when a new administration got in. Well, they were already doing it with the NSA and the spying and all that. So this is just the Republican way of doing it. They were doing it with the Democrats. All right. Planning stuff. Everything comes out in different sections or pulses. Pulses, like a heartbeat. And then with these particular Republicans or these particular Edomites, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. These particular Edomites are in office. Now they're moving, phases, different phases. That's the word I was looking for, phases. All right, so this is just the phase for 2024, 2025. Well, for 2025. All right. When do we ever go back to normalcy? When let's say a Democrat, let's say we here 4 years, and then things go back to normal. When a Democrat gets in office, come on, man. You know, they can play some sick game, but things don't get better when it comes to these laws. Okay, when the laws, okay, we had Republican Democrats. Okay, we maybe profited more, and maybe in a certain administration. But the laws, you know, I think they just get worse and worse, right? And some people say worser.
Proactive instead of a reactive. So the Most High is putting the spirit on the warlike spirit on these devils to do what they got to do. So this can very well be the last administration. So how long does he got? 2025, 26, 27, 28, right? He's got 3 more years. Then you got the new president to come in 2020, what is it? 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, right? The new president will be declared president unless if they go that far. Or
right, because you got remember the blessing. We haven't brought this out in a minute. Genesis 27:40, and you can read the whole chapter or start to more understanding. And by the sword, this is Esau's blessing. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother. All right, that's the prophecy. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Yeah, because eventually we didn't have subjugation over Esau. The Esau went out into the world and started building up nations, Macedonia. All right, he went up into the Caucasus. All right, he went up into Russia, went up into Europe through the Roman Empire, through Rome. All right, and the whole thing with the Roman Kaisers waging war with the natives in Europe, that was a genetic genocide, and for resources. All right, it was genocide and resources. And they spread, the languages and their culture and their architecture all throughout the area. So it was genetic genocide. All right. So that's Esau's blessing. Only nation on earth to have the blessing is that will receive that blessing was Esau. All right. And then the other nations that have the sword, they just replicated it. That's what they got from Esau. Edom.
Knowing Trump, he declared 29, right? The new president will be declared president unless if they go that far. Or knowing Trump, he can declare himself as president for life. He can do whatever. He done tore up the Constitution. He does what the fuck he wants to do.
You see, the motto of my first platoon was those who long for peace must prepare for war. This is, of course, not a new idea. This crowd knows that. The origin dates to the 4th century Rome and has been...
Well, he could have said the Babylonians. He could have said the Persians and the Medes. He could have said the Greeks. He could have said the Chinese military forces. He could have said a lot of things. Why Rome? Let's listen to that again. This is fair use. Another hint that this is Rome all over again.
Prepare for war. This is, of course...
How did Rome become an empire? By declaring war against their neighbors. And when they would surrender to the legion, there was more than one legion.
All right, so remember, America is the rebirth of the Roman Empire. All right, America is incarnate Roman Empire. Now, Hexeth is a veteran. He was in the military. I believe he served in the army, and he was in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I think Guantanamo Bay also. So he is a veteran. Not that he's qualified to say any of this stuff. I don't know what training he has beyond infantry or whatever he was doing. But he's the, I guess, the chief warman under the president.
It was about 7,000 men. And they had ships.
So he just invoked the spirit of Rome. Okay? I'm going to get Revelation 13.
As well, and they would always fight. The sovereign nation would always fight, get defeated, and declare that they would sit down for negotiations of peace.
It's Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. All the world wondered after the beast. All right. Go down to 12. That was Revelation 13:3. Now 13:12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the whole earth which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Okay, so he just told you that America is the rebirth of the Roman Empire. He invoked the spirit of Rome. All right, but Senatus Populus Romanus, roughly. All right, he invoked it, but it's really just the government. The people ain't shit. They just use them as spiritual energy, and they do the mechanical work, like the labor and everything like that. But it's the rich, the government, corporations, and the government that rule, not the people.
And then what Rome would do is not put you in slavery, but they put people in slavery. The gladiators they put in slavery, they enslaved them. And you had enslaved gladiators with Jake and other nations round about. Some of these gladiators became popular and eventually received a wooden sword from the emperor himself, and he was a free man. And later in the Roman history of the Caesars, Jake began to become Caesars, and a lot of them became Caesars that were formerly gladiators, slaves.
Talks about it all the time. It's called peace through strength. And as history teaches us, the only people who actually deserve...
Hey, the scripture said, and by peace shall what? And by peace shall what? Destroy many. And by...
Right, so they're invoking the ancient Edomite Greeks to ancient Edomite Romans. All right, these they're telling you, they're speaking in code. The Edomites created a nation, or they subjugated a nation called Macedonia. All right, then they conquered different city-states in Greece. Then they either usurped or created, it's two different theories, the city of Rome. All right, so they're invoking Greece and Rome with that statement and his overall speech. America is Rome. It's a reincarnation of Rome, and it's also Babylon.
The president talks about it all the time. It's called peace through strength. And as history teaches us, the only people who actually deserve...
Hey, the scripture said, and by peace shall what? And by peace shall what? Destroy many. And
I believe Antiochus Epiphanes made that. That was talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. So that spirit, he has the same spirit of the Edomites.
By peace he shall destroy many.
Peace are those who are willing to wage war to defend it. That's why pacifism is so naive and dangerous. It ignores human nature and it ignores human history.
And Gad, the indigenous people, they were passive. They welcomed you with, a lot of them welcomed you with open arms, and they shouldn't have did that. So you took advantage of that. That's why it says, in going back to Genesis chapter 9, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. You made many treaties that you broke.
Either you protect your people and your sovereignty, or you will be subservient to something or someone. It's a truth as old.
Ultimately, that you guys took by force.
Right. That's what he's talking about himself. Or you will be subservient to someone. He's talking about himself. He conquered Judah. He conquered Gad, Naphtali, Asher, and spread their culture and their language, right? Which they stole. Eating the Spanish. There's a lot of Jakes in Spain, all right? But the power came down from Esau. All right, and Esau did not originally speak Spanish. Esau got through there through the Roman Empire. All right, the original Spanish are not so-called white people or Edomites. They're of the seed of Japheth.
You made many treaties that you broke.
Either you protect your people and your sovereignty, or you will be subservient to something or someone.
Right, you're talking about what Rome did. That's what Rome did. He conquered Europe, conquered New Rome, the natives here, which are of the tribes of Israel.
It's a truth as old.
Ultimately, that you guys took by force. The scriptures speak about another man's boundary, landmark. Let me go see if that's in Deuteronomy. That's in a couple of places. Give me a second here. This is what I wanted. Manifest Destiny was the 19th century belief that the United States was destined by God to expand its dominion and spread democracy across the North American continent. They went west. They took over the east, which was the 13 colonies, which was the East Coast. You got New York, New Jersey, Philly, so forth. Then they said, the whole saying was, go west, young man. There was opportunity out there. The big gold rush out in California. So let me read that again. The 19th century belief that the United States was destined by God, like God is with us, to expand its dominion, lordship, and spread democracy across the North American continent. Now, let me give you the images. So this woman didn't exist, but she was leading the people to the west. So the symbol is this white woman, this lily white woman with a robe on, floating in the sky. This is a symbol of America. A nice woman, Edomite woman with long flowing hair, feminine looking. And you can see part of her leg, Isaiah 47. Going west to expand. In whiteness. Wouldn't work if they had a black woman up here. So this whole War Department thing is about taking over.
Old as time. And since waging war is so costly, blood and treasure, we owe our republic a military that will win any war we choose, or any war that is thrust upon us. Should our enemies...
He said any war we choose, meaning the war that you decide to make. Let's attack. They got gold down there. Let's attack that place. Let's lie on the guy, say that he's killing his own people so we can be justified in attacking that place. This is it. You're going to fight against an enemy that you cannot fuck with. That's Yahweh and the angels. After they get rid of you, there'll be no place found in heaven. Pursuant to Revelation 12.
Choose foolishly to challenge us. They will be crushed.
The angels are going to, Yahweh and the angels are going to challenge you, and they're going to destroy you. And this is pride. He's speaking with pride. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock.
By the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words,
so the War Department is not reactive, it's proactive. It looks for enemies, it looks for trouble. So the Most High put a spirit on this man, or really on Trump. And it was brought down to this individual right here. The demons are working with him too, to make them think that they're invincible. This is beautiful. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is setting y'all up beautifully. Once that chip gets out there, it's on.
To our enemies, FAFO.
Once that chip gets out there, it's on.
To our enemies, FAFO.
First A, FAFO. FAFO. Let me look that up.
It means fuck around and find out. It's a slang that I think Jake probably made that up, or Edomite. And you know, we want you to attack or do some type of domestic terror, or and we're gonna root you out, and we got dossiers on you. They already got frame jobs set up, false identities, false witnesses set up, false forensics set up, and everything to accuse the brothers and everything. You know, the only way they can win the little petty trials is they lie, because we don't break the law. All right, so it's fuck around and find out.
FAFO. FAFO. Oh, okay. That's the Jake uses. We use this term, so I didn't think Esau. FAFO is a slang acronym for F around and find out. Well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to F around with your Hawashine angels, and they're going to find out. So that's
yeah. They're gonna find out that the composition, you know how they say a silicon base or carbon based bipedal humanoid. They're not gonna believe that their sensor readings are not going to come back unknown composition. Esau, you're you effed, man. All right, you're not gonna be able to accurately track unless they want you to be the UFOs. You're not gonna be able to track them, and if you do track them, it's because they want you to track them. They can disappear right off your sensor readings. A little secret technology you got to track stuff beyond radar. You know, they can make it appear as if it's 1,000 of them, and there's nothing there, or vice versa. All right, Esau, you can't deal with the technology of. The angels can appear in front of you, and your sensor readers don't even show anything's there.
He's speaking out of pride. Anybody mess with us, we taking shit. You gonna F around and F with them, the Yahweh Shine them angels, and you're gonna be wiped out of the heavens. Like Jack Crabb said in the movie Little Big Man, how do you say it? He told General Custer, was General Custer's last stand, because the Cheyenne Braves slaughtered them. So Jack Crabb in the movie, you gotta see that movie, Little Big Man, starring Dustin Hoffman. He played Jack Crabb. He said, you going down there. He said, because those ain't women and children, those are Cheyenne Braves.